There are still many unanswered questions after a deadly plane crash in Kingston, Ontario. Police have not said how many people were killed, but they do say that there were no survivors. The single-engine plane was flying from Buttonville Airport, north of Toronto, to Kingston yesterday afternoon. The crash happened in a wooded area on the northern edge of the city near the Trans-Canada Highway. The cause is still unknown. There's no word on how many people were on board. The CBC's Megan Batchelor is on the story. She joins us live. So, Megan, what's the latest from the Transportation Safety Board?
Yeah, Andrew, there are 4 members of the Transportation Safety Board on scene now investigating this crash, and they really have their work cut out for them on this one. There are still a lot of unanswered questions, including how many people were on board, how many people died, exactly what happened, and that is what the TSB is hoping their investigators can get to the surface of, at least today, as they are on scene investigating this crash that happened yesterday. And here's the TSB explaining just what this investigation is going to be looking like for them.
We're going to examine the wreckage. We're going to photograph and document the wreckage, survey the accident site overall. We're going to identify pieces for further examination at our TSB laboratory. We're going to gather information about pilot training, aircraft maintenance. If there's any witnesses to the accident, we were obviously interested in talking to them. As well, we'll obtain some information about weather, any communications with air traffic control, and radar data.
So the TSB will be the main agency looking into this crash, but it's working in cooperation with the Kingston Police as well as the Ontario Coroner's Office. And here you can see aerial footage of the scene, and its location was a bit of a challenge for investigators to get to after this crash happened last night. So much of the investigation is really starting today with first daylight in Ontario. So the crash happened around 5.5 to 7.5 kilometers away from its destination, which was the airport in Kingston. And it's very unclear exactly why that happened or how that happened. Environment Canada had issued a special weather statement for the area last night, predicting winds that could gust up to 80 kilometers per hour. It's not known if that was the case or if that was even a factor in this crash at all. We know that this plane was registered to someone in the United States. That is about all we know about the identity of who owns this plane. Again, we don't know how many people were on board or how many people died, but the Transportation Safety Board has said that there weren't any survivors in this crash. Police were called to the area around 5 o'clock last night, but yeah, Andrew, there's still a lot of questions here.
Just as we've been speaking in the last couple of seconds, Radio-Canada's Frédéric Pepin confirms that 7 people died in that plane crash. So that is awful. 7 people.
7 people. So 7 people on board. We know that this kind of aircraft was able to seat 6. So 7 people killed. We now know that. And people that were in the area did describe this as a very loud noise yesterday. But yeah, Andrew, there's still a lot of unanswered questions around all of the factors that could have contributed to this.
Okay. Thanks, Megan.